the majors within the humanities, so specifically history is what we focus on the most. Give you some other information about education abroad, honors and scholars, and then remind you of the deadlines. Just quick question. Are you all currently high school seniors? And have you already applied to Ohio State? Just let me know if you've already applied. We can answer those questions if you have any of those. If you have not applied, we'll talk about that too. We are coming from the College of Arts and Sciences. It's the largest college within the university. It is quite broad. There are almost 100 majors within the college. There are even more minors available. So you can see this is sort of the heart of the university. Today, these are just some numbers. You can get an idea of what is out there, but the humanities, get into the humanities, things are quite small and quite intimate, so that's something to look forward to. One thing I will point you towards is the website. So if you can take a look at that website, the Arts and Sciences website has a tool where you can put in a lot of your interests, and it will shoot out some possible majors for you to consider. So it's definitely a useful tool. I encourage you to take a look at that. Also, the website has all the most up-to-date information and deadlines. So I would strongly recommend going to the website first if you have any specific questions. There are also departmental contacts that you could reach out to listed in each department website as well. So we'll get into the majors in just a minute, but while you're at Ohio State, your advisor is your go-to contact when it comes to questions and making sure you're fulfilling requirements. You are assigned an advisor based on your academic major. So history majors have history advisors, and so you would work with them to go ahead and schedule classes. You actually meet with them during your summer orientation, so you get to know them right away, and then you work with your advisor until you graduate. Anytime you pick up a second major or minor, you would add another advisor within that area as well, so another go-to person for any questions you might have. Your advisors will help you navigate requirements. One of those requirements are the general education courses that you will be completing. This is there to make students well-rounded, and so you are taking all the basic subjects you're probably used to in high school, so basic math and science and foreign language. And the one great thing is that if anyone isn't taking AP credit or college credit courses in high school, you'll receive credit for those courses even before you get to Ohio State. So that is one way to take your long list of requirements and shorten it even before you get to campus. So other support systems that are on campus include our tutoring services are offered in every department. We have our Young and Success Center, our Writing Center. They're all there for students to utilize. Again, any questions you might have, just go ahead and type those in the chat along the way. I mentioned that the humanities majors are quite intimate and small. There are many to pick from, so you can see 40 different majors within the departments, and many minors as well. We'll divide these into categories today, so we'll focus on the liberal arts majors, language, literatures, and cultures, and then interdisciplinary studies as well. One of the things that I encourage students to think about too is to think about double majors and minors. It's incredibly easy to do when it comes to the humanities areas, and because everything when it comes to humanities is very overlapping and integrated, you'll find that completing those requirements is actually not super difficult. So if you have multiple areas of interest, you can definitely pursue those. Here are the majors that fall into the liberal arts categories. these again are a great place to start if you have sort of an idea what you want to study, and or not don't have an idea what you want to study. This is a great place to start. So I won't go through all these majors in super detail, but these, you can see a little bit of information about each major. You can also see at the bottom of the slide some sample courses. These are courses that fall into that general education category. So you could take those courses even your first semester at Ohio State. So you won't see a Classics 101 a title for a course. You're going to see very unique and interesting and fun course titles. So you're studying those areas, but you're doing so in a really unique and fun way. So for you all who are history majors, these are two areas that you might want to consider as well. Think about if your history interests fall into sort of ancient Greece, ancient Rome, that part of the world. The classics courses might be something for you to think about. That also being the case with philosophy. If that sort of history interests you, adding a major, second major, or a minor in one of these areas might be something that you would benefit from. Our English and history are two of our larger departments within the humanities. English is a fantastic second major or minor for anyone, regardless of your primary major. It's very flexible. You practice your writing, which is going to be very important in any career field. And so I always encourage students to think about English. Also, a couple great minors within English. So creative writing and professional writing, both very attainable and complement really any major. Professional writing also has an internship that's a part of the minor. They set that up for you. You check the box of that minor, and you also get that internship real-world experience. So for you all, history, if you are interested in majoring in history, we have a fantastic history department. It's one of the largest in the country. As a history major, what you would be doing is coming up with your concentration based on a geographical location or time period. There's also a lot of options when it comes to just themes when it comes to history. So history of religion would be a good example. Your advisor would help you come up with that concentration, and then those are the courses that you would take. Our history department is a leader when it comes to military history. So you have the most outstanding faculty on our campus for military history, great experts, and so a lot of courses are focused on military history. So if that interests you, I encourage you to take a few courses there, and maybe even you could work that into your concentration somehow. Any questions about history that you might have, just, again, pop them into the chat, and we can get this covered for you. If you are a history interest and you are also artsy, history of art would be a great fit too. It's more broad than most students think, so it's not just visual art, it's all the aspects of the arts. And so you are studying a lot of different areas. And again, depending on your personal interest within history, you might find this to be a very good complement to a history major. Linguistics is all about the study of language, so how languages evolve over time, how they are learned, how they are passed down, all goes into the type of courses you take with linguistics. Also very technical and technology driven. So you talk to your phone, it talks back. That's linguistics technology, and so definitely a growing field. And so a lot of great possibilities there when it comes to future careers. So that was that first category of liberal arts. Next category are all of our languages and cultures. So we have 14 different language majors available and even more minors available. You can see all the majors here. If you're a language person, I always recommend adding a language minor. If you think about just opening doors down the road, having that language experience is definitely going to help you do that. Language courses and majors are spoken and written language, but also include a lot of cultural components of where the language is spoken around the world. You all as history majors would have a language requirement as a part of your general education requirements. What that is a 3-course sequence of the same language. And so if you took Spanish in high school and wanted to continue that, we have you take a language placement test that lets us know where in the Spanish course sequence you would start. You're also well able to start completely fresh when it comes to a language. And so based on your placement test that you complete, or even if you're taking a language AP course, you could test out of quite a few requirements based on the language skills that you already have. Final category with majors in humanities are these interdisciplinary studies majors. A lot of these might interest you all. What they are very narrowly focused majors that are made up of everything we've just gone through. And so you could pick and choose any one of these and identify a lot of the themes in it. So if you wanted to do film studies as a major, you're going to be doing analysis and critique of film. So you're going to need to know, probably take history courses, as you're going to take cultural courses, possibly when it comes to foreign film. You're going to take literature when it comes to screenwriting. You're going to take lots of art courses when it comes to that production and the art side of film. So any of these, you can get a really good idea, all the different themes that are narrowly focused on that in this specific major. For these, I would definitely recommend just checking out the website. A lot of them are very, very detailed and give you a great idea of what you actually study as a major or a minor in these areas. So I mentioned minors a lot, so every major has a minor and then some. Adding a minor is quite attainable, especially within the humanities. Most students would have at least a major and a minor, or multiple minors or multiple majors. So really, I recommend not limiting yourself to just one specific area of study, but going ahead and thinking broadly about all your interests. Another area that I always like to mention is education abroad, and so I encourage students to definitely go abroad, but also start thinking about it early, because that helps you make sure all the details and requirements are set. College of Arts and Sciences offers many study abroad opportunities. The Office of International Affairs is your go-to when it comes to the university, and there are over 100 programs to pick from. So a lot of these programs you can see are sort of sponsored by departments, one of which that's really great is this World War II education abroad trip that's sponsored by the history department. So what you would do is, it's called a short-term study abroad. You spend the spring semester taking courses all focused on World War II. Then for maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the semester, you travel with students and faculty that you have just been learning with for the semester. And so it's a great dip your toe in education abroad, but you actually go into it with a lot of knowledge. So it's a great way to start. There are semester-long education abroad programs as well, even full year or summer programs out there. So think about education abroad. Hopefully soon that's an option again. And by then you'll have everything set up and ready to go. The last thing I'll mention is honors and scholars. And so when you both applied, you were given the option to check a box that says, yes, I'd be considered for honors, or yes, I'd like to be considered for scholars. I don't know if you remember doing that, but just a little bit about the programs. Honors program is really what you think it would be. It's very academic, in the classroom focused. So as an honors student, you would be taking honors courses. You'd be working very closely with faculty, probably doing research or writing a thesis at some point. And so it's really academic focused is the basis of that program. there is a living component, so you would live with other honors students your first year on campus. And just to give you an idea, there are multiple entry points for honors. You could enter directly as a first-year student, or after you're on campus for one semester, you could apply to become an honors student. So those are two different entry points. So if you don't enter directly, not the end of the world, you're able then to apply for honors once you're here. Scholars is very much outside the classroom. So as a Scholars student, you are part of a community of like-minded students outside of class. Whether you're majoring in a major from A to Z, you participate in programming and activities and events all surrounding a specific theme. So there are 17 themes to pick from. A couple of other items about Scholars. Scholars, there's a living component as well. So you live with your Scholars cohort your first year on campus. And the other thing to keep in mind is that there's only one entry point. So you can become a Scholar student only as a direct entering first year. So keep that in mind. I mentioned all the different programs. There are 17 of them. Here is a long list. So they're not major specific. So you could major in history, but be a part of the Art Scholars program. If you're artsy, you could major in history and be a part of the Humanities Scholars program, which is actually what I run. And so that has students who major in the humanities, but it also has business students who are super into culture, or engineers who love Harry Potter and like to read for fun. So you can kind of see what these programs do is it allow you to continue an interest you might have, whether or not you're majoring in it. And they also make Ohio State very small real quickly because of the cohort model, and you get to know a lot of students really well. So that's a little bit about honors and scholars. Now, I mentioned when you apply to OSU, you would have had to check a box for one or both of those. If you did not do that, it's really not too late. You could contact the Honors and Scholars Center, and they could allow you to add that or change your mind on the back end. I would do that sooner rather than waiting if you decide you want to be looked at for one or both of those programs. Since you've already applied, some of these deadlines really aren't a big deal, but you should be receiving your decision based on whatever information you've received from the admissions office. So with that is sort of the nutshell when it comes to general information about majors. Again, I'll always encourage you to refer to the website for updates and official deadlines. If there are any questions, I can answer those for you now. You can type them in the chat or just let me know. Otherwise, my contact information is here. If you have questions down the road, you're welcome to shoot me an email and I'll get those answered for you. But if you have something to get to this evening, thank you for joining us and have a great evening and best of luck with the college search.